Well, departure day is coming up really quick. I got 2 days to finish this. See, we decided after many years of talking about it that we're gonna go to Burningman, which is why I'm still under the van finishing up an engine swap. I mean, I know we could have taken one of the running vehicles, one of the reliable vehicles, but where's the fun in that? I'd much rather take the van that hasn't run in 2 years. Gotta crack the engine block. So, here we are. I'm gonna try and fire it up shortly, and hopefully, with any luck, it works. And then we can start doing the everything else to get ready.
My name is Cam, and I'm what the internet likes to refer to as neurodivergent. A fancy name for being utterly disorganized and far too overconfident with my own abilities to complete a task within a given time frame. Luckily for me, my wife is in the same boat, which is why she gave me her full support when I decided that with only 5 days left before we leave on a 3,000 kilometer trip.
Okay.
Oops. Oopsie. Oops.
Oopsie what?
I might have just blown the glow plug system. Could you grab me a 7mm, please?
7mm what? Which?
Wrench, socket, whatever.
Then I should pull the engine from my running but rusty van and swap it into my not so running, not as rusty van. The one that hasn't seen the light of day in over 2 years. Of course, scope creep is a real danger whenever I take on a task. This often leads small things into becoming large things, like when our microwave broke, resulting in the entire main level of our house being remodeled. It's also why the simple action of lending out our utility trailer to a friend blossomed into an entire engine swap, rebuild, custom turbocharger install, and complete camperization revamp. That isn't to say it's all bad though, because being neurodivergent has also blessed us with a rather large toolbox of skills over the years. Which is why even when things go south, we can normally find our way out of whatever dilemma we currently find ourselves in.
Okay, it's not like we're going to the desert.
Dry. Okay, so it's leaking at the housing here. That's not too big a deal. Okay, turn it off.
Sounds good. And she turned off.
Yeah.
The fact that's she turned off.
Okay, update. I haven't been filming very much because I'm running out of time really fast. It's Thursday, and the vans are running. As you saw, it was puking coolant all over the place. Turns out somehow in the process of switching the motor over, we cracked one of the coolant ports, and yeah, I thought I was going to be completely screwed, but I went through my bins of parts, and for whatever reason, I had one. So I swapped that back in, and now we seem to be good to go. Engine's running and everything. I still haven't taken the car for a test drive yet, though, because now I'm trying to camperize the back. And I'm not even close. So I need to run the house battery, because our cooler keeps killing our starting charging batteries. I had a switch to stop the house battery from draining the starting charging batteries, and after 2 hours of searching I couldn't find it, so I've got a new one in. It just arrived now, so I've got to figure out how to mount all of that in. The water system is going to be completely changed because well, it was basically impossible to fill, so I've got a new system to put in my head. Now I've actually got to put it into the van. Then I've got to run all the lighting in the back. Then I have to do the bikes, because who wants a boring bike at Burningman? So we've got a bunch of glowy stuff to put onto those, and then we got to pack and then leave tomorrow. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon already. Oh boy, nothing like last minute rushing. Let's go.
Tirelessly, we worked through the night, wiring, plumbing, assembling, and installing. Finally, our hard work paid off, and through grit and determination, we crossed the border into the US and on our way to Nevada right on time. A whole 24 hours behind schedule. Now, all that remained was the race down the I-5 at an astounding 80 kilometers per hour with a headwind. And 16 hours later, we would be arriving at Black Rock City, Nevada. Oregon. We made it to Oregon.
Front end was making some funny noises, and my brakes were feeling a little bit odd the whole way down. So we're at my buddy Steve's here.
Quarter? 3/8.
Those numbers make no sense to me. Talk millimeter.
5 mil, 6 mil, 7 mil, 8 mil.
And we got the front wheel off, and it looks like the front caliper is seized on. But I'm hoping we just have some air in the lines that maybe we can bleed out. We'll be so SOL if this snaps.
The brakes seized up.
They hopped in the van and hasn't been driven in 2 years, and they're going to Burningman.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's okay, we've only driven from Canada today.
Yeah.
That is not moving. Don't force it. Good thing we're on day 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be...
Whoa.
That's not good.
Problems here.
Don't think that's supposed to be apart.
This job just became big.
What happened?
The washer's in backwards.
The washer's in backwards.
Yeah.
Permanent damage or no? Just annoying.
No, just annoying. Ah!
Did that work?
It did. They did again.
Well, it came out looking red.
Yeah, it didn't look so hot, did it?
No, it did not look good at all.
What the hell is that? It's stuck. So you can see this one's further out.
Sure.
So
Yes, we can see
one,
that.
that one moves, that one's not moving.
Okay.
So we're gonna try and free this one up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wasn't running 2 days ago, hasn't been driven in 2 years, and our test drive is to Nevada from Canada. So I think, you know, for something to go wrong, it's to be expected.
You notice how it's not making noise?
Yeah. I am a brake. I've never done that before. That was really satisfying to do.
See?
I'm a brake.
The bearing's definitely loose.
Can we tighten that?
Yeah, I'm gonna tighten that up.
He just said, Steve, C-clamp, and then ran away.
Damn steering wheel's on the wrong side.
No, it's on the right. It's on the right.
No, I can't, no, you can't get JIS.
Canada sucks.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, but Canada sucks. You don't have anything cool there except mooses. Mooses are quite neat.
So what'd you find?
So these washers, little brass thrust washers, there's supposed to be one in there, and if you can see it on the camera, there's a bevel on here, and that bevel is supposed to face in, which it was, so it was on there right. The problem was, there's also this one.
They put another one.
There's two.
Now you
It's
got
not supposed to be there.
Now you got a spare.
See, that's my concern.
That's better
why
than being
why do I have a spare? So we're gonna put one back in,
Come on,
and
Doug,
then I need
get
to
out of the way,
decide,
Doug.
do I check the other side
Go.
to find out if it has none? I really don't want to take apart both sides.
What if it has none?
Then we're taking apart both sides.
So it's on, it's fixed.
Yep.
This one's on and fixed.
Fix the alignment. Right?
Alignment and put the brake fluid in.
Yes. So we were towed in 1/4 inch, right?
So it's actually straight?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, so
it's
it was-
about as dead-eye zero as you're gonna get.
And now we drive for a couple hours into the desert. We're on the road again. It is late, but we are driving and everything is fixed. Right?
Van's driving great now. It's about, what, 11 o'clock or so? And we're finally on our way again. But I feel much more comfortable driving the van knowing that the suspension and everything is all sorted out. So I think we're gonna get some food and then see how far we can make it tonight. Find somewhere to park and rest up. I'm just glad that my buddy here in Grants Pass was so willing to help me out, because honestly, like, yeah, I could have done this on the side of the road somewhere and it would have been fine. I would have been able to do it, but having a friend there to help out that knows what they're doing as well, and it just makes it so much nicer. So thank you, Steve, Neil, your whole family for accommodating us and our
Shenanigans?
fun reliable minivan.
Morning. It is Monday today.
We were supposed to be in Burningman yesterday, but instead we spent the day fixing the van again. Then we finally went and got groceries and we fixed the van again. Then we were like, you know what, let's just get growing. It's 3 a.m., but at least we can get a couple hours in, or an hour maybe. Drove on to the first rest stop and it was not great, so we're like, well, we'll keep going, we'll find something. Yeah, an hour and a half later, we get onto this road that's all twisty into the mountains, and oh, well, there'll be a pull-off. So we go into the first pull-off, and no parking, and the next pull-off, no parking, and the next pull-off, no parking. We're like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those roads that you're just not allowed to pull off anywhere. So finally we find a little side road that has houses all over, and we're like, you know what, we're so exhausted, it's like 4:30 at this point, and we just gotta sleep somewhere. So we pull over, we sleep on a hill in suburbia, and then just our luck, 5 minutes down the road, there's a pull-off that's flat, that does not have any signs not to park there, and the next pull-off doesn't have any signs, and the next pull-off doesn't have any signs. But we're there, we're going there, we're on our way.
Look at all them moose. Look at that moose.
Or so we thought, as we headed an hour in the wrong direction, and finally, after much deliberating as to where we went wrong, the lush green forests and pastures of Oregon soon gave way to small desert shrubs, dust, and even more dust. Yet, nothing compared to the dust we would soon be experiencing. And eventually, we did find ourselves driving down the long, dusty, 8-lane entrance towards Black Rock City, Nevada, our home for the next 9 days. After partaking in the Burningman first-timers ritual of making a dust angel in the playa and ringing the massive gong, we were transported into what can only really be described as a world within a world. No amount of research could have prepared us for what lay behind the gates, and for over an hour, even with the city address in hand, we navigated the fine-powdered streets of the playa in search of our camping friends. Eventually, after seeking the help of some city staff, we did manage to locate our camp and got Delilah nestled into her parking spot for the duration of the event. Then, it was time to help Chris set up the geodome, and probably one of the sketchiest crow's nest lookouts you've ever laid your eyes upon. Then, all that was left was to climb to the top and take in our new surroundings. That's when the sheer enormity of Black Rock City really began to set in. To say the video you're currently looking at is only a sliver of what lay up on the horizon would be a complete understatement.
Day 2 at Burningman, and already I am so happy that we're at a camp. Last night was awesome. We went around and saw a whole bunch of art, and went to the man, and went out on the playa, and then went around to a bunch of the different camps and hung out with a bunch of the people from our camp here, which is great. And then this morning we woke up to a flat battery, which less great. Hello. Not even close enough to me.
Are you vlogging?
Kind of.
During the day, the sun bakes down on the playa, almost as if it were a giant ball of burning gas and fire, trying to beat one into submission. And temperatures quickly climb into the low 40s. That's something around 104 eagle units, I believe. Yet, under the shade structures of each camp, the city was still a buzz of activity. So, staying well hydrated, we set out to explore on our $50 cruiser bikes. I will admit, I've always scoffed at cruiser bikes and city bikes, as they lack the street cred of our normal downhill rigs. Yet, by the time the event was over, I had honestly grown quite fond of my beat-up little beach cruiser. No matter how hard we smashed through the pothole-ridden streets of the city and the playa, our bikes took us from art piece to art piece, one after the other, without fail. It soon became clear that planning one stay here is simply not possible, as we continually found hidden gems and wonderful curiosities around every turn. Before we knew it, the light was fading and the sun was beginning to dip below the horizon. As fascinating as the city and the art installations are to see in the day, it would only take us one night to realize that it is only after the last light of the sun fades that Black Rock City really comes to life.
On the tongue the flavor lingers, it lingers on me tongue.
Heading onto the playa for the first time is an absolute experience in and of itself. As we head towards the end of the street, the dusty glow of the LEDs, lasers, and neon begin to shift into individual entities dotting the playa as far as the eye can see. Art cars, bikes, people alike, glowing in an aura of flashing lights. Then comes the sound. The thumping bass from the various sound cars becomes clearer, and soon we're surrounded by music from all directions. A warm breeze blows across the playa, bringing with it that distinct scent of the Black Rock Desert. Until this point, I never knew one could be overwhelmed in a positive way. All I wanted to do was explore, so that's exactly what we did. I'm not going to try to explain what we're looking at. I'm just going to let you make of it what you will, because until you go and experience the art, the atmosphere, the music, and the people for yourself, no amount of explanation will really do it justice. Burning Man is a festival, but it's not a festival. It's a party that's not a party. It's physical, mental, mechanical, yet it's organic. It's not like anything I can even begin to relate in words, even after attending myself. According to Wikipedia, Burning Man is a week-long, large-scale desert event focused on community, art, self-expression, and self-reliance. I think the best explanation I heard, though, was Burning Man is whatever you didn't realize you needed it to be. The 10 principles of the event in many ways seem like they should just be commonplace in everyday life, from radical inclusion to leave no trace. It was marvelous to see massive RVs parked right next to a sleeping bag covered in a tarp, and people dressed in business casual conversing with others dressed in feathered boas, bikini tops, and hoop dresses. Everything just seemed abnormally normal. Save for one thing, the trash. Then again, with 70,000 people hailing from every corner of the planet, one should expect a massive mess of litter. Yet, the ground remained nearly spotless the entire event. I could go on for hours, but honestly, no matter how much I tell, it simply won't do it justice. Neither do the images you see before you. Everything just feels so alive and something I can never convey secondhand. So I'm just gonna let you sit back and watch for a minute or two. With any luck, maybe, just maybe, you'll get a small sense of the excitement and vibrance that radiates from this event. Some of you are probably thinking, you bunch of hippies, get a job.
Who put me in charge?
Well, first off, you're probably a really boring person, but that's besides the point. I suppose our level of hippie did increase as each day passed, just based on their outfits. But you're also looking at a group of Red Seal tradesmen, high-end finance entrepreneurs, engineers, doctors, and government employees who, for whatever reason, have found common ground playing Mad Max. And before anybody assumes this is only doable if one is half-cocked, well, I've never even tried alcohol, let alone anything else. We're completely sober. We just love having fun and building a library of memories. Something Burning Man is chock full of. From the music and dancing, to the workshops, art installations, and the people we met from all around the world. This is definitely an event that will remain burned into our memories.
going to Hot Springs right now, and we're really hoping that it's not going to be really packed. Oh, jeez. But we have been happy to discover that this is a bit more 4x4 than we were expecting.
Picked the wrong road, I think. That one was really smooth.
Oh, as you can see, we're doing well, but a little unexpected. Jeez.
Yeah, that one's super smooth. This one's just rough.
What? Why did you take the rock?
I had a 50-50 chance. Oh.
We are now. This is flat.
This is a really steep angle.
Let's not go on that. Can you back up?
I don't know. Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's try the other route. There's one right there too.
Oh man!
What?
Oh, smokes!
Roll up the window! Oh, so much dust! You can see the dust in my hair.
Oh man!
I don't have gray hair, and yet that is very gray.
Okay, so we have to travel faster than the dust.
We don't have to travel faster than the dust.
Oh, jeez! The bike's still there?
You should probably check that, actually, Cam.
I don't want to stop. The dust will catch
Roll
up.
the window up.
No, it's too friggin' hot.
You're probably just dragging the damn bike.
Oh man!
Thanks for that, Cam.
But then I decided, entirely of my own accord, that we would pull over.
All the lights just came on in the van. All the alarm lights and everything. And like a couple minutes ago we heard a ping. Didn't know what it was.
Knew I should have swapped this too. The one thing I didn't swap from the other van was a freaking alternator.
What, that means that nothing will charge, or?
Yeah. Now, I don't know what we're gonna do.
So we think the alternator is gone, but we heard a ping. And we don't know what the ping was.
That just changed tone.
Yeah, it did. Plan is we're gonna go to...
Yeah, I think we're closer to the spot we were gonna try get to than we are from where we started. There's tracks in the ground, so I'm guessing there's not gonna be other people there. So I think we're gonna head there. I'm videoing.
Oh, are you?
Well, we made it to our spot. Looks like the electrical was just the plug. I'm gonna try and fix that a little bit better later, but either way, we did make it, and we're the only ones here. There's nobody around. Here, take a look. But yeah, we are the only ones at the hot springs. I'm surprised. I expected this to be kind of jam-packed with people, but yeah, it's just myself and Sue. So we're going to go and enjoy the hot springs for a little bit, and then I guess we'll try and head out. It actually rained last night. I was a little bit concerned because once it rains, the roads here can become completely unpassable. They turn into a really thick, sticky mud. But it was a light rain, not even enough to really rinse the dirt off the van, so I think we're gonna be okay. Don't know where exactly we're going after this, but I think we're going to enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet right now because it's been a week of EDM, metal, country, you name it, all day, all night, all around us. So this is kind of a nice peaceful change.
Then, in the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed, and we were soon back on the trail exploring the backcountry BLM lands of Nevada. With the first hot springs behind us and still not a soul in sight, we took the opportunity to explore a small volunteer-built cabin used by hunters and sledders. After marking the logbook, we enjoyed a quick soak and a few more hot springs before heading northbound, doing our best to skirt around the smoke-covered skies of Oregon.
Last night we stayed at a cute little place right on the side of the road that was in the trees, which was a luxury, and right by a creek. So this morning we woke up and actually washed our hair. Never been that happy to have clean hair. And then started to head back north, which was a bit sad, but I'm still excited to go see my son. On the way north, we saw on the map here, I was like, oh, what's that? I wonder what's there. And as we started looking into it, there's like more and more stuff in this area. So we end up heading this way, a little off the beaten track. So it seems that there are sand dunes in the middle of Oregon.
At this point, you would think we'd had enough of the sand and dust, but once again, we found ourselves completely alone with the dunes all to ourselves. Having minimal sand recovery gear, we didn't venture very far. But even then, I still managed to snap a sway bar link and lose our dune flag within the first 60 minutes. So, realizing our flag had gone the way of the dodo, we decided to play it safe and head back off the sand and make camp for the night.
It's a video.
The following day, we continued to explore the surrounding area.
Yes.
The rough, high-clearance trail taking us deep into a strange forest once covered by the dunes. Large stone mounds dot the landscape, allowing us to climb high above the tree line and take in the beauty of the arid scenery around us.
We're just leaving the Lost Forest, which is Ponderosa Pines in the middle of the desert. These pines are literally like 40 miles from the closest tree, and they only have a half the rainfall that they're supposed to be able to survive on. It's really neat because you're through all of this like sagebrush you can see outside, and then all of a sudden you just like hit a wall of trees. This is a juniper. Just before that, we went to sand dunes in the middle of the desert, which did not know there were sand dunes in eastern Oregon. But I guess when Crater Lake exploded, it deposited a whole bunch of ash, and the sand's just been moving around since then. That was a lot of fun. Put the Delica up on the sand dunes for a bit. Not that the Delica's the best dune buggy, but we did some fun stuff in there. Now I think we're headed to a fossil lake bed, and then maybe to some different lava flows. And then I guess we're gonna head down north, continue our way, and see what we find.
The lava rock crunches beneath our wheels as we traverse the path over a long dormant lava flow. A reminder we are living in a 40,000 kilometer zone known as the Ring of Fire. The surrounding mountains created by violent earthquakes and raging magma explosions now sit silent on the horizon. Yet, if one looks close enough, signs of that violent volcanic past can be seen everywhere, and we find ourselves exploring an ancient volcanic vent towering high above the plains below. Yet, looking out at the peaceful landscape, it's almost inconceivable that this area once raged with fire, smoke, and steam, as the spot we now sit once erupted from an ancient lake bed. The gravel road takes us further into the backcountry and into a 2-mile-long volcanic fissure, a vast scar on the Earth's surface. As we delve deeper into the chasm, the temperatures rapidly drop, a welcome change from the relentless sun above. This is when the reality that our trip would soon be coming to a close really began to sink in, and no sooner did we find ourselves back on the road before plunging our van 150 meters down the steep entrance to the floor of a prehistoric volcanic crater.
Immediate hard turn. Okay, you're now past it, you can straighten up.
The trail snaked its way around stones and trees, placing our Delica in an uncomfortable lean towards the slope below, which, with such a high center of gravity, let me assure you, is not the most fun feeling. In the end, though, the sight of the mile-wide crater surrounding us made the whole trip down worth it.
So we came down from there, drove all around the side, and then to the center. This is the exit, which in the camera probably doesn't look like much. But I'm at the point where I'm sliding, trying to walk up. And it gets steeper the farther up, which means we're gonna have to go back out that way because
It was already in for.
we got no low range.
What?
I did not realize our low range was not working.
And I guess we don't have low range. So the night's about to fall, of course. It's our timing. And we are trying to make our way out. I mean, the road's not that long at least. It's just very off camber. I mean, equalized. My shoulder is equal with the top of Cam's head right now. Right? So the whole way out is very off camber, and there's big rocks on either side of the road in a couple of areas. It's not overly difficult, but there's some big whoops, and there's the big rocks and the off camber. The off camber more than anything.
I think we'll be okay, but I'd much rather have low range for a little bit more control of wheel speed. But we don't have a choice because it won't go into 4 low for some reason, so I think we've got a problem with the T-case.
Okay, how far they go. Wow. So many terrible blinky lights. Aliens.
Misfortune is all part of a trip. No matter how paired one thinks they are, things can always go sideways. Murphy's Law states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But let's be honest, Murphy was an optimist.
We are on the side of the road, almost at Seattle. Not home yet. And we got a flat. Valve stem failed. I'm just glad we have a full-size spare. We'll get home today. So much for bypassing Seattle. Does it have air in it?
Grab the air compressor. This is one of those really annoying type of flat tires where, you know, we didn't even run over something cool, and I'm tired, and I'm just gonna let my air out, and that's all it did, just for the sake of letting its air out. It's still doing it now.
Air right there.
Where?
Right in front of the towing place.
It's a pressure washer.
Okay, it's a pressure washer.
Some people have to plan a trip down to the very last detail. I say embrace the unknown and have some fun with it. The worst trips can create the best memories, but it's only miserable if you let it get to you. I, for one, can't wait to see what's in store for us next, because this adventure, it's just getting started.
Mama, come with me. Mommy, come with me.
Okay. I'll come play with you.
But that story will have to wait.